ready for a ban list. So let's see, boys and girls. I'm excited to talk about none other than the ban list. Let's talk about what cards got hit. This is my live reaction. I do not know what went on with this list, so let's get into this video, shall we? So guys, we had our predictions and stuff like this. This was kind of my pool of this should be kind of hit in this range, stuff like that. We had like Yuja, Dorogreymon, Dorumon, Dorumon. So you got Oryumon possibilities here. You got Gatekeepers. You got Sunrise Buster, which really should probably be hit. And then we got like Mikey, Jeremy for, the Cross Heart decks. This is really going to be interesting. Hopefully they hit a lot of cards on this list. Hopefully it isn't just like, oh, we're just adding one more card to it kind of situation. I would hate that massively. I mean, we already know Jet, Sylphie, and Tommy are probably on the chopping block. They're going to remove it off the list. And they're going to be basically, we can't play with those. But hopefully we see a Cross Heart hit. We see... I really would love to see Cool Boy hit more than anything. Maybe the Death X hit. I know that a lot of people are complaining about how powerful that card is. So, and Calling from Darkness is a ticking time bomb. And, Sora and Joe are problem cards in themselves. So, let's see what we got going for us, shall we? We got the Digimon card game tab. We got the beautiful... we got 3 cards showing. So, we already know 2 of them. So, if this Digimon card, you put up to 4 cards with the same card name in their deck, but in battle held in official tournaments and etc. Number of cards can be put into the deck by its prohibition or restriction. They are prohibited cards or restriction to 1 for prohibited restriction cards. So, let's see, due to the current rules and improvements playing environment, the following cards will be added to prohibited restriction cards for September 1st, 2022. So first off, they are killing off completely. We knew this was coming for even us. Jet Sylphie had to go. So I expect this no less, since we have determined that the deck centered on this card has been at the top of the environment for a long period of time than expected. As results, the width of the yellow decks has been narrowed, so we're limiting it to 1 copy. This is still going to cause a problem because no other yellow deck can keep up with the format. So I get it, you getting rid of Jet Sylphie. This affects Japan a little bit too. Now that means Cross Heart's going to probably be a little bit more dominant. So really, at the end of the day, this deck was kind of the deck that everybody had to play Gatekeeper with. So I understand that. And it's going to be very interesting wise, because this was really the counter to Crossheart. If they don't hit anything on Crossheart, it's going to be really hard. Next, we do have Tommy here. Tommy did make the list, so this card alone at repetitively low cost greatly discards as an evolution of your opponent's Digimon. And in combination with the effect of making that Digimon without evolutions impossible to attack or block, it easily locks the opponent's Digimon. So we judge that it's more stressful in the progress of the game than fun, so we limit it to 1 card. So I like that they're using that as a representation. We'll probably, we already had the explanation on our side, so it's not overly terrible. I think this is pretty solid. And then, so because we got Dorogreymon. So because it is a Digimon with X antibodies as a feature, it can be easily used as an evolutionary source for Digimon by the effect of other cards. By placing multiple cards on the evolution sources of one Digimon, it is possible to have security +1 of the evolution sources effect on top of each other. So that's what Wargreymon does. I mean, literally, they have Tai on board, and they get to have 4 to 7 checks. So that's what Tai does. And that what does X Antibody Wargreymon does. Metal Greymon, I mean. It's like, so, like, your whole stack with that does that. That should not be the reason why. I mean, in addition, since it has a powerful defense effect that it would not disappear until the end of the next turn, due to evolution effects, will not be affected by DP negation effects. We judge that putting it in a multi-card deck will damage the balance of the game, so we're limiting it to one. Really? Just because it has black's natural defenses, you're going to kill a black deck? This literally kills the black Alphamon outright. And if this transitions to us, that's going to be even more of a problem if this is immediately September 1st for us as well. That's going to cause more issues than benefits. This is just trash here. This basically kills the deck instantly. I mean, none of the other cards really do anything because now Dexter Greymon literally does nothing in this situation. You get rid of their base protection and you kill off even Dex Darugamon. I mean, the Dex deck to punish for Alphamon. This should not be the way that went. This should be Cool Boy here. This should be Cool Boy. In all honesty, that card is more toxic than this card. But apparently, that's just not it. September, 2 cards that are prohibited or restriction. Ban cards. Okay, hopefully there's more. We've seen this card here. We've seen this card here. We've seen this card here. We've seen this one. We've seen this one. Currently applied card restrictions that can only be placed in one deck. Oh, come on. Inquiries. Wow. They did nothing. They did nothing to Crossheart. So that means Crossheart's going to be dominant as hell. Okay. That's fine and dandy, apparently. That deck's just going to abuse everything. So expect that to be the top 80%. Anywhere outside of that, I don't see any other deck not keeping up with Crossheart itself. Crossheart is just that powerful. I mean, what deck can literally restand their Mikey or do anything that basically says, I'm going to take the sources out and just come at you? We have, for control decks now, we're sitting at Security Con and Beelzemon, Bellistar, I mean. And those decks have proven time and time again that they can't keep up with Shoutmon. So that's an issue. Shoutmon's really doesn't care about Blue Flare or even our good friend, Dark Knightmon. That's not going to change anything there either. So I don't know what this format's going to look like. Oh my goodness. But obviously, if you had to classify this is going to be a Shoutmon dominant format. It is proven that it took up 105 wins in Japan. The most wins in most decks in its run between one format to the next. And that had EX3 in between it. So they're probably hoping that EX3 will balance it, which is bad thinking in game design because now you're having stuff not add up here. I mean, if you take out the fact that you're really banking on the deck's doing what it needs to, there's just not enough checks for Crossheart. Crossheart's just going to be one of those decks that either now you got to play Death X at like 2 to 3 in your list. I don't know. This feels like a terrible list. I feel like they just went after it just to go after it. This at least when they made the last one, they hit proper cards because they knew it was just going to be too strong, and there was just no reason for even just going after this deck. There was at least 2 viable black decks. Alphamon's strong, but it's it still struggles against cross art. Like, it can win against cross art if the stars align, but cross art still does cross art shit. It's not gonna change anything there. Bandai, you fucked up. Excuse my language, but so true here. There was just they had like scattered mode. I mean, Eismon on here. They had Ice Wall being preventative, but they're just like, yeah, no, we're not gonna be preventative this time. We're just gonna straight out kill it. I mean, even this deck isn't that broken in our format. It's topping, yes, but Where Room on Turbo here is topping more than this deck. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Without further ado, catch you in the next video. Peace.